Selection sort is a classic sorting algorithm in computer programming that sort numbers from ascending to descending order and vice versa from descending to ascending order. Selection sort is not the best way of sorting algorithms or sorting arrays because it takes up a lot of memory. In other words, the time complexity for selection sort is big O of n squared. Selection sort works something like this. Let's say we have an array of 10 numbers, and inside of the array we have values like 3, 7, 1, 9, 2, 6, 4, 0, 5, and 8. So this is our array, and we want to sort this array from the smallest number to the largest number. The first sort will go through the whole array, and then it will look for the smallest number. This is going to be sort 1. So sort 1 will look something like this. Going to take the 0 and it's going to put it where the 3 was, and we're going to move the 3 to where the 0 was. Let's copy this line. Then it will go through a next swap. So this is going to be sort number 2. We don't have to start from the first element because the first element is already sorted with the first sort. So it's going to go through the unsorted list of the array. Now with the unsorted list of the array, it will look for the smallest number, then it will make a swap. So the smallest number in the unsorted list will be 1. So what would happen is that it will swap the 1 with 7. So this is going to be sort number 3. We don't have to start at the beginning anymore or on the left. We have to check in the unsorted part for the smallest number, and the smallest number here is 2. So what we're going to do, we're going to swap 2 with 7. So to create a selection sort algorithm, the first thing we want to do is create an array of integers. So we're going to call this variable array. Let us use this set of numbers here. So let's copy and paste right here. So this is our array. And the second thing we want to do is create a variable that is equals to the array. We have 10 numbers, so the length is going to be 10. We want a loop to go through the whole array. So let us create a for loop for int I, which is going to be our counter. I is going to equals to 0, and I is going to be less than len minus 1, and iterate the I. The minus 1 is actually the last number at the end of the array. We're not going to compare the last number with anything else. So in our loop, we want len minus 1. So the length is going to be 10 minus 1 will give us 9. So it's going to loop through this portion. This is our main loop to go through the whole array. Now inside of the loop, we want to create another variable, and this variable we're going to call it main position. The main position is going to equal to I. Let's create another for loop to go through the unsorted part of the array. So inside the for loop, we're going to declare an integer called j, and j is going to equals to I plus 1. So we want to compare to I, which is the current position, and we're assuming that the current position is the minimum in the array. J is going to be less than len, and we want to increment j as we go through, so it's going to be j plus plus. So for this loop, we also want a condition. So our condition is going to check if the j element in our array is less than the ith element in the array. And to write such condition, so we're going to use the if statement. So if array j is less than array min position. This line of code is comparing if j, the unsorted part, is less than the min position, and if it is less than the min position, then we want to min position now is going to equals to j. When we find the min position, we want to create a swap. Now before we create the swap, we also want to do another check. So if array at min position not equals to array I. And what this line of code is doing, it's comparing if a swap needs to take place. Let's copy this line and let's bring it here. So this is going to be sort 4. This portion of our array is sorted and this portion is unsorted. And what we want to do here is find the minimum number. Now the minimum number here is 4. So 4 is already at the right position. No swap needs to take place. So if it's not at the right position, then we are going to create a swap. And to create a swap is very simple. We create an integer and we're going to call this integer swap, and we're going to have swap assigned to array I, and then we want array I to equals to array at main position, and then we want to swap back array at main position to swap. Let's write a code to print the array from the lowest to the highest. And we also need a for loop for that. So for int I is going to equals to 0, I is going to be less than len, and let's increment I plus plus. Create a statement to print the values. So let's put a simple note, element, and then also let us do this as well. We can do this, and we're going to print the array. Now that's all you need to do for a selection sort. So let's build and run the program. And here is our array, the array printed from smallest to largest. Now, if you want to switch and print from the largest to the smallest, all you have to do is change this sign to the greater than. Let's build and run again. And this will print the values from highest to lowest.